Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and this is episode 25 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story. We've got the last 4 fixtures of the season to have a look at, as well as the end of season awards. So let's get to it. Run the intro. So, after the defeat to Las Palmas to end the last episode, we took on Real Madrid at the Benetino Villamarin and it finished goalless, not for the want of trying from our perspective. 9 shots on target to Real Madrid's 3. We dominated the possession as well, but we could not beat Real Madrid. 0-0 was the result. We then followed that up with a disappointing and quite frankly embarrassing 4-0 defeat away at Sevilla. Let's take a look at the goals. So they started early, did Sevilla. Franco Vasquez with the opening goal, promised with the ball into the box, unmarked, unchallenged for 1-0 to Sevilla. Free kick, we did not handle balls into the box very well at all. Vasquez back to Martido for the second goal. De Boer come through for the third before he crossed it back into Promise, who slid it across to Berengo to put us 3-0 down, and Sevilla were loving it at this point. They wrapped it up with a couple of minutes to spare. Escudero onto Vasquez, who had a really good game, into Mensah, who wasn't closed down as he rolled it into the bottom corner for 4-0 and an embarrassment in Sevilla. We did get back on track against Athletic Bilbao. Isaac with the only goal of the game. Let's take a look at it. And it was a goal on the stroke of half-time. Lands down the left-hand side, taking the long route in behind before crossing it into the middle. Isaac with a good little header past Romero in the Bilbao goal. And that is a very significant result for us. That means, with that win, that we have gone the season unbeaten at home. We'll have a look at the league tables shortly. And our last result of the La Liga season was a 4-2 defeat against Levante. We were 2-0 up in this game. We absolutely capitulated in the last half hour. Let's take a look at the goals from it. So Isaac put us in front. His last goal of his loan spell lands down the left-hand side. Another ball into the box from him, this time along the low road. Isaac at the far post putting the ball in the net. Christian Tello added a second goal from the corner. Wasn't dealt with at all well by the Levante defence. But then they roared back. Simon with the ball into Dokorua. I hope I've said that right. Who slams it into the net for 2-1. They equalised on the 77th minute through Calero and a comedy of errors on the line. They took the lead just after that. Martin with the ball in the middle. Played it wide to Simon, who was instrumental in the fight back as he scored the third goal. And they wrapped it up 2 minutes later. We were utterly shell-shocked at this point. Simon coming through again, still going, before he knocked the ball into the middle. Martin wrapped up the win for Levante as we ended the season disappointingly, losing 4-2. So here is the La Liga table in its entirety, as I've mentioned. So there is the proof that we went unbeaten at home. We only conceded 7 goals at home. That is the least out of everybody in La Liga. I am so proud of the boys for that. 12 wins at home, 7 draws. It was the away form that let us down in the end. We have finished in 6th place. Should be worth mentioning that. Above Sevilla, which is always very good. So we are in the Europa League next season. We enter the last qualifying round, I believe. The rules are a bit sketchy on it. It says 5th and 6th, but then it says to me about qualifying, so I'm not 100% sure what will happen. Barcelona, of course, the champions, 81 points. Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, 2nd and 3rd. Valencia claimed the last Champions League spot, pipping Real Sociedad by 1 goal. Wow. Now it's time to look at the end of season awards, and we start with the fans' player of the season. It was Jordan Lukaku, surprisingly. 35%. He was a consistent performer throughout the year. Sydney was second. Papa Diop was third. The goal of the season was scored by Jack Harrison against Rayo Vallecano. I wonder if it's the goal I'm thinking of with the lovely mazy run he did. Let's take a look and see if it is. As he did score a lot of crucial goals, Jack Harrison, and I do believe it is the mazy run one. Yes, it is. Lovely run, past 3 or 4 players before driving it into the bottom corner. Worthy winner of goal of the season. Signing of the season, so that's Jordan Lukaku. At £2 million, it was a snip. To be fair, we didn't buy a lot of players last summer. He obviously being the best of them. And Papa Diop does get an award, thankfully. He gets Young Player of the Season. Absolutely tremendous he was during the year. The stats, always very important to have a look at these. Top goal scorer Jack Harrison with 8 goals. Highest average rating was Christian Tello with 7.13. He was the most assists as well with 7. Pass completion rate, that goes to Adrian Silva. Player of the match, now there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that got 3 each. Bravo to all of them. Sydney was the most yellow cards with 6. And the 2 boys on the naughty step with the red cards were Lands and Jordan Lukaku. Here's another thing that has delighted me. So the board are absolutely delighted with the way I'm leading the team. Thank goodness for that, I think. To be fair, we've exceeded expectation. We've punched well above our weight this year. So it leaves me with a very difficult decision as to what happens next. But we'll talk about that in a second. Because we have to talk about this. Chuffed. Absolutely chuffed. So despite having a win percentage of only 47% throughout the season, I've accrued 772 managerial points, which means I am the La Liga Manager of the Year, ahead of Barcelona's Unai Emery, Atletico Madrid's Pep Guardiola. Those are 2 names to be in front of, and I'm very proud of that. So this leaves me with a very big conundrum as to what to do next. So we've qualified for Europe next season. Fantastic. My contract is up at the end of June, and I've decided to have a look round. We're going to have a look and see what's available. If something comes up that's better, and there are a few irons in the fire already, Bayer Leverkusen is one, Leicester City is another. I don't really want to go back to England just yet. Well, we may have to. It depends. It's complicated, but I think I've taken Real Betis as far as I can take them. Back into Europe, with all the loan players going back to their parent clubs in the summer, it's time for somebody else to have a go. And I believe that, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It's been coming closer and closer and closer, and I think it's time to give a new manager a clean slate. I've done what I came to do. I've got them back from mid-table obscurity back into Europe, and that will do wonders for player recruitment, and I think it's time for me to move on to another challenge. What that will be, we will find out next time. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you'd like to do so, please click the subscribe button down in the corner. That was episode 25 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story. I will see you for what comes next. We'll find out together next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.